What would you do with $100,000? Would you save it? Invest it? Or would you spend it? It's okay if you said spend it. Most people our age would. We live in a consumption-based society where it's way too easy to spend and so hard to save and invest. The average millennial has a net worth of around $18,000, but many of us are actually negative up until our 30s or maybe 40s, thanks to student loans and credit card debt. It's easy to feel like you're already behind before you even got started. But what if your story was a little different? You saved, you invested, and you grew your net worth all the way to 5 zeros before most even broke through zero.
Well, that's my story. Hi, I'm Benjamin. I make videos about side hustles and finance tips. Today I'm going to be telling the story about how I made $100,000 by the age of 20 years old. Now, I'm not here to brag, but I am here to share my insights because, well, let me tell you, before I did that, I had no idea that it was possible for someone like me. But once I did, I realized it was really possible for anyone, as long as you understand the fundamentals of building wealth. Doesn't matter if you come from wealth, and you don't have to get lucky. Truly, anyone can do this. Now, can you perfectly replicate my steps? Probably not. But what you should do is learn from my successes and also from where I failed, and then go and forge your own path with those fundamentals in your own life. If you're wondering, Ben, why does this even matter? Can I just worry about the money stuff later and have fun right now while I'm young? Well, sure you can, but I challenge you to look at it a little differently. I'm honestly living a life that I love right now, and I'm building up towards early retirement, financial security, financial freedom, the things that matter most to me. And here's the deal. I know that every single day, month, and year that you push these things off, you're actually pushing off the life of your dreams. So I hope that really soaks in. If I have your attention, I want you to get ready to take notes, get inspired, and follow along with me as I share how I reached $100,000 by the age of 20. And by the end of this video, you should be ready with the concepts and fundamentals so that you can implement them in your own life. Let's get started.
So my journey starts at the age of 14, my freshman year of high school. I started working as soon as I legally was allowed to, serving ice cream. I earned up my first few $6,000 just working part-time. Now, I saved most of my income, and I put it inside of a money market savings account with the help of my parents. Now, a money market savings account is a lot like a savings account, but you get much higher returns of interest. I typically got about 1%. It was small, but it added up. I also worked odd jobs like lawn mowing, babysitting, dog sitting, stuff like that, and made my way up to $8,000. Throughout high school, I leveled up jobs every year or so I could get higher pay and broader experience. By the end of high school, I had about $12,000, not bad. And now I decided to go to college, but I didn't want to jump into enormous debt like most people do. If you haven't seen my video from a few weeks ago, go check it out, how I went to college for almost free. Now I did it for dirt cheap. I started with community college, went to public university for the second 2 years. I used scholarship and grants to knock off all those expenses. I also lived with my parents during this time, and I commuted. Most parents will let their kids stay with them during college. Maybe you have to pay a little bit of rent, but even if they don't, get a bunch of roommates, knock down that expense. I also bought and cooked my own food. It was healthy, it was pretty easy, and it was very cheap. Now, as a college student, I did a lot of free stuff. I hung out with friends. If there was an event that required me paying, I did so, but most of the time, it didn't feel like a necessity. I also made the switch to a job that was scalable in income. While my previous jobs capped me at minimum wage or very close to that, this one allowed me to scale as I improved. So I became a server. And when I started, I sucked and I didn't make much money. But as I got faster and I got better, so did my income. From there, I started doing marketing as a freelancer, and then I got my real estate license, both of which I still do today. By my sophomore year of college, I had $20,000 saved up. Soon after I turned 18 in 2020, I decided to invest in the stock market with that $20,000. I mainly invested in leveraged index funds. They provide a broad coverage of the market, but with a little more risk. Now, I will admit, I rode the wave of 2020. What I want you to focus on is that I positioned myself with that $20,000 at the time to seize opportunity. So it wasn't just a matter of getting lucky, it was a matter of preparing myself to get lucky. I grew my $20,000, all the way up to $50,000, but that's only the halfway point to $100,000. I didn't stop there. For the rest of college, I worked my butt off. I did couch flipping, I donated plasma, surveys, video editing, and other side hustles, all on top of being a realtor and doing marketing services. I was able to add close to 80% of my income into the market, and I watched as it grew. The more I added, the more it grew, the more motivated I got. It didn't take more than a year for my net worth to go from $50,000 to $100,000. When I was putting together this video, I realized the process in itself wasn't that complex. I could probably sum it up with 4 words: work, save, invest, repeat.
Here's what I learned. Don't live by your net worth. It's going to change, so you can't get emotional about it. Right now we're in a recession, so things are going down. If you have stocks, you're probably experiencing that. But if you invest consistently over the long run, then you're gonna be just fine. Just understand the fundamentals and keep going. Scalable income is key to building wealth fast. When I was making minimum wage or $10 an hour or whatever it was, I was capped at how much I could make no matter how hard I worked. When I learned about scalable income, I realized the harder I worked, the better I got, the faster I got, the more I could make. Finally, opportunity is everywhere, and it's your job to get ready to get lucky. Don't let luck be an excuse. So we all have different stories, right? There's 16-year-olds who have millions, and then there's 50-year-olds who have absolutely nothing. So we actually have a lot more control over our finances than we probably care to admit. You see, the secret to wealth building is simple, yet it's so profound. And if you learn to harness it, it'll change your life. And to be clear, you don't need $100,000 to be successful, and you certainly don't need it by the age of 20. Maybe you only need $10,000 at 22 to buy that rental property, or $50,000 at 30 to start that business. Whatever your goals are, I want to help you get there. So here's what you're gonna do. You're going to define them, you're going to set them high, and then you're going to figure out the how. How do we figure out the how? Well, start with this video, rewatch it so it really soaks in, and then head over to my channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. I'm going to help you take action. I'm going to help you get your budgeting right, increase your income, and design the life of your dreams. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and smash that like button. It really supports me as a creator. Now, I want to know, what's your story? How are you working on your goals today? Or what are you struggling with? Put it down below in the chats. I'd love to hear your feedback and offer my own advice. As always, this video was made with you in mind. I want to help you optimize your wealth. I want to help you maximize your life. I hope that this video did just that. I will see you next Friday.